Hi, this is Jordan Ramirez, and normally I host my podcast show, Film Talk with Jordan Ramirez. Now, I am hosting a special show for my podcast, Film Talk with Jordan Ramirez, Minisode Jordan Ramirez Recommends. The minisodes are now airing every Monday at 12 p.m. as part of the Film Talk with Jordan Ramirez podcast, and I just want to say that before I start with today's episode that I am glad to be back from my vacation from San Francisco, and that I want to give a shout out to the city and my cousin and her friend during my vacation there. So, without further ado, you are listening to Film Talk with Jordan Ramirez, Minisode. For my sixth episode, I'm going to recommend the film Memoria from 2021, directed by Apichatpong Weerasethakul, starring Tilda Swinton and Agnes Breck. Jessica Holland, played by Tilda Swinton, is in Colombia taking care of her sister Karen, played by Agnes Breck. While in the country, Jessica begins to hear a loud noise and is trying to figure out the origin of the sound and where it is located. While in the country, she becomes friends with a young musician and an archaeologist in charge of a project to tunnel through the Andes Mountains. I watched this film at the Roxy Theater in Mission Street in San Francisco with my cousin, and in the theater were not a lot of people, but around 40 to 50 people inside the theater, maybe more. Just before the film begins, you, as the viewer, are watching the notes from the director that was conceived between 2017 and 2019 about the production and during the production of this film as a prologue, and the notes about the film itself concerning the narrative of the structure. The film was in a 35mm print, a rarity for me that I had not seen lately, but as soon as you watch this film, you are in a hypnotic trance as you watch the long takes and establishing shots that last more than 24 frames per second in real time. The cinematography by Sayambu Mukdiprom, I'm sorry if I mispronounced the person's name, may feel slow and anticlimactic, but it's just perfect for a film like this. The film also uses wide and medium shots, and rarely does it use the close-up for the main actor or actors in the film. The only storyline that you can feel in this film is through its sound. The use of ambient sound does help to convey the narrative. The sound work was done by Akrichalarm Kalayanmeter, sorry if I mispronounced his last name or his first, who is the lead sound designer of the film, and Raul Locatelli, who is the sound recordist of the film. The film marked the first collaboration between director Apichatpong Weerasethakul and Tilda Swinton. It was also the first feature that Weerasethakul made outside of his native Thailand, as well as his first English-language feature, as well as the first Spanish and French-language feature that he directed. When it comes to some of the themes that dominate the picture, it focuses on dreams, memory, time, nature, and sound. With its use of an unconventional narrative structure and using lesser-known actors outside of their home countries, the film feels like a breath of fresh air that I feel is badly needed in terms of filmmaking as a form of an artistic expression that is rare since it would stand out from the mainstream. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Apichatpong Weerasethakul mentioned that he fell in love with Latin American culture from reading stories in which Colombia was romanticized by the colonists that were translated into Thai, as well as the mysteries of the Amazon. And during his travel to Colombia, he began to develop the early symptoms of exploding head syndrome, which proved to be the inspiration and the basis for this film. And as an unusual move for Neon, the art house distribution company, the film was not shown on a streaming platform and was instead shown from city to city across the United States as a never-ending release in different theaters. It is now part of a roadshow-style tour across the country if you want to catch the film before it's too late. All I can say about this film is that I fell in love with the unconventional narrative structure to be precise. The use of sound is clever and helps to build the narrative as well as provide ambient sounds without the use of a musical score. The performance by Tilda Swinton and the other cast members in the film feels natural and not forced, as well as hypnotic. I am in awe of the hypnotic use of long takes and wide and medium shots, and I love the use of location since the film takes place in the country of Colombia, presented in this film to give it a sort of Western perspective of how Americans or tourists feel about the country. I hope you enjoy my recommendation of this film. This has been a Film Talk with Jordan Ramirez Minisode. Tune in to the Minisodes every Monday at 12 p.m. and Film Talk with Jordan Ramirez every Friday at 4 p.m. on Anchor, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And until then, I'll see you at the movies.